In a quiet, forgotten corner of an antique shop in Abingdon, England, there hung an enigmatic painting shrouded in mystery. The oil canvas depicted an eerie, haunting landscape with gnarled trees and an ominous mist that seemed to crawl out of the frame. In the far distance of the ominous landscape, a solitary tower stood atop a mountain, and from its center a light shone forth into the forefront of the painting, giving out an otherworldly and ethereal feeling to anyone who saw it. There was no visible signature, nor any dates to give clue of its time of making. No one knew who the artist was, nor where the painting had come from, but its aura of wickedness was unmistakable. The strange painting had a long and cursed history, passing from one unsuspecting owner to another over the years. The first victim was a wealthy banker who stumbled upon it in a dusty old attic of a property he had acquired for investment. Ignorant of the sinister reputation it carried, he proudly displayed it in his opulent mansion. But as the days passed, misfortune befell him, his riches vanished, his family turned against him, and his once prosperous life crumbled into despair. The painting's dark energy grew stronger with each owner. It changed hands multiple times, leaving a trail of sorrow, tragedy, and death in its wake. Anyone who dared to gaze into its ghastly scene felt a chill that penetrated their soul. Some were driven to madness, while others were plagued by horrifying nightmares, tormenting them night after night. It was said one could see and feel every sin ever committed by mankind in one instant, including those committed by the immediate spectator. Many attempted to destroy the cursed painting, seeking to rid the world of its evil presence. But all efforts were in vain. Fire, hammers, even the sharpest of knives proved futile against its indestructible canvas. Exorcisms were performed by the most experienced priests of the church. Even warlocks and occult experts were hired to try their best at dismantling the dark power that possessed the grotesque artwork. But nothing seemed to work, and frustration consumed them all. It seemed as if the painting had a will of its own, protecting itself from any harm, no matter how powerful the force. Rumors of its evil mystique spread quickly, warning people to stay away from the disturbing masterpiece. But there are always those drawn to darkness, those who dare to challenge fate. One such person was an eccentric Italian art collector named Alessandro Dominelli, obsessed with macabre artifacts. He was fascinated by the painting's power and desired to possess it at any cost. When he acquired the cursed painting, he thought he had triumphed over the dark forces that lurked within. He celebrated many fancy parties where he invited important members of society, and he never missed a chance to show the dark painting to all his intrigued guests. But little did he know that the painting's ungodly powers were beyond comprehension. As the nights passed, whispers echoed through the halls of his mansion, shadows danced menacingly on the walls, and unexplainable sounds filled the air. The once proud collector's life crumbled before his very eyes. His wealth vanished, his health deteriorated, his only son Sebastian died from a strange illness, and his mind descended into an abysmal madness. Desperate to break free from the painting's curse, he attempted to abandon it in the darkest depths of the ocean. But the painting would not be confined nor forsaken. It returned, haunting him like a relentless specter. Night after night, Alessandro would walk to the edge of the cliff where his mansion stood, and he would throw the painting out into the raging waters down below. But as if someone or something carried it back out from the depths, the painting would always be back to the wall it always hung from, dry and undamaged, as if nothing at all had happened. This drove Alessandro to the brink of insanity, and one of those nights, he threw himself off the towering cliff with the painting held firm in his hands, while crying out loudly his dead son's name. As always, the next day the painting was found hanging intact on the same familiar place it always had, but there was no trace of Alessandro. In the end, the cursed painting claimed another soul, adding to its dark legacy. It remains an eternal enigma, a wicked entity with no origin, no author, but with an insatiable hunger for ruin. Legends persist, warning those who may come across the dark painting to beware, for in its depths lies an unspeakable horror that knows no bounds, and no matter one's intentions, the painting will have its way and consume anyone who awakens its heart of darkness.